former executive director of JADCO. So, Anne Shirley, why did you write that article in Sports Illustrated, though? Why not?
I wrote it for the athletes, and I wrote it for the country. And the two things that are there, we had the euphoria and we had the brilliance.
Bad timing.
No, it is the right timing. Why? Because right now, remember, we've all thought that everything was on hold. We have 6 doping cases and an appeal to deal with. This period, the way the structure works, Veronica Campbell, Asafa Powell are not earning an income. There's supposed to be a short window between notification of the B sample. 2 weeks the trial is supposed to start. Well, we lost 2 weeks here with the thing going on. The trials are supposed to, the hearings, when I call them trials, the hearings are supposed to start almost immediately. The eyes of the world. Listen, Asafa Powell is one of the biggest. He's like number 3 behind Tyson Gay and Usain Bolt. Veronica Campbell, from she was a child, she is one of the most respected UN ambassador for sports, etc. The eyes of the rest of the world are going to be on our cases. Has JADCO put the evidence packages together? Have they got witness statements?
Have they?
I'm asking a question that you need to ask. Have they put witness packages together? The experts, remember this business, you have to have the expert cases. You're going to have one of the most unusual set of things, because this is Mr. Ureb from Canada. Accusations are made about him as a member of what they call the entourage. Is that going to be something that has to be brought in? Do you have to get evidence from the Italian police to be brought in? Remember what I say, their cases are expected to be done expeditiously. Do we have the legal minds in Jamaica, and have we put that legal team so that, if you call it the prosecution for better terms, JADCO goes in and has to present the case. Then the athletes on their side are going to present theirs, and each one of them is entitled to their own individual trial.
Right.
And I'm saying
but this is not new. We've done this before. We've had athletes who've tested positive.
Yeah, but this particular one, the time that you have and the amount of scrutiny that you're going to get is such that we cannot afford for nothing to be put in place. And all I'm saying is that the question that needs to be asked from where I sit, what I'm hearing is that this is perhaps one of the lowest points when it comes to staffing of JADCO. WADA
and the threat of expulsion.
No, the WADA can't expel anybody. So let's get that straight. That is what came out of the articles. David Homer was very clear. Non-compliance. What WADA does is WADA is supposed to be the unit that looks as to whether your system is compliant or not. You heard on your program this morning, Babs Green saying that in 2010 we were compliant. I think it's every 2 years they're supposed to come through and do an assessment of your programs. You do some things online. If what he's saying is that if Jamaica is not found to be compliant through all the various areas of what it has to do, then they will report that. And in reporting it, it is possible that the IOC and the other major events, because of non-compliance, will say, no, you can't go. I don't expect it to reach there, but I think what this all is, a wake-up call for the government and the people of Jamaica.
Could you have done it differently, though?
I tried. Not for want, and if you know where I was, and I will state it publicly. I talked to the Prime Minister, Minister of Sport, the Attorney General, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Information, Ministry of Finance, the Office of the Prime Minister's Permanent Secretary. I could go on and on and on, and I laid out all the issues that I found. When I was leaving, I made sure that I put everything there. I documented for the board. No strategic plan, no operation plan, no financial statements, no staff and accounting, etc. Since that period of time, I can't look on you and tell you what has gone on in there, because one of the things I've made very clear, I didn't go in there and see it, try to get it done. But I repeat again, the reason that I did what I did, and remember, I didn't start writing Sports Illustrated willy-nilly. When those test results came out and I saw they were incorrect, the first thing was, if we spend money as Jamaica, no matter how small it is, make sure that the public record is right. I knew it was wrong, and I wrote a very polite letter of the editor, but those in the know knew what I was saying. I got no response. Then I got a kind of a one from Delano Franklin, and I said, listen, let me just put the facts out and start at them now to say, here is where you go look for certain things. It took 2 weeks for them to come out to say, yes, my numbers were correct. And I now hear through the programs that the facts that I have in the Sports Illustrated article are not incorrect. What I heard was that people said that we should give more of a global circumstance. Fine, if everybody wants to stay in the past, what I hope that everybody does is focuses on what is the capability of JADCO and the anti-doping program right now to carry out a rigorous testing program? Do we have the links with narcotics police, Interpol, customs? Do we have the connections with FID, with Mr. Felice, to do an investigative arm and deal with the protocols so that you will not violating the privacy of the athletes? That's another critical stage of the program. And the education. You need to educate, but you can't have a one-size-fits-all package. The elite athletes need one type of education, junior athletes, and even the parents and the coaches need. To do that, don't just tell me that you're going to hire a couple of people and they go out and they run a little workshop and they hand out some pamphlets. You check what I would ask some of you to do. Check the athletes. Check on Michael Frater. Check out Bridget Foster Hilton. And check what have they gotten, what assistance have they gotten, and how confident do they feel that the program works.
Got you. So over the 7 months you were executive director, do you believe you failed?
On my scorecard?
Yes.
Certainly not. I wouldn't say I failed, but it wasn't a pass grade that I would have liked.
Right. Why did you leave? Were you fired or did you resign?
It was fired and resigned, both of us. What happened? Yeah, because we sat at the table. And given who I was and given the connections in the system, if I wanted to make noise, I could have. They wanted me to go, and I knew it was time to go.
You had enough?
I'd had enough.
Is it true that you were sent home to work from home because you were so
They sent me home, but I never went home. I was still in the office.
You were a bully?
I am.
And the staff could work with you. They were really antagonistic towards them.
Funny enough, we worked together. Let me put it this way. It can stay wherever it was. What I will tell you is that I am an aggressive person, but behind the back, people know how to work with me.
Right.
The board did not want me there, and so it was in their interest to take the things with the staff and suit themselves.
So I'm getting from you, Anne Shirley, behind all of what you do, the way you do, some people don't like it.
Yes.
You want this thing to be made better.
This is my passion, and my passion comes, and I will end this, my side is this, where it's just saying to you. That Javon Francis run, that little boy, coming from Bulby, that's what my passion is about. The athletes who represent Jamaica that we all big up when they're on the Olympic stage don't come from, as one person put it yesterday, they don't come from above halfway tree. But they are the salvation in an economic sense. Our country is going to get turned around not by the people uptown and sitting down in the big offices. Is the Anansis and the little people out there who hustle and work hard. I came into this thing and I stayed with it. Not for the Prime Minister, even though I say build her legacy, I can help her along. But the real passion are those people that they are protected and they are given the information. Don't give them the science and the big word. Tell them that they're DPH. Don't break it down to a point that they understand. Don't take the cough medicine.
Has the Prime Minister called you?
No, and she won't. She's in China. And the way the
phone's there.
Well, I'm sure. Listen, I don't need a call from the Prime Minister, and she doesn't need one from me. This thing she understands, and get very clear. She knows everything that is here, and I'm confident she knows what to do and how to do it.
You know you'd be like an enemy of the state.
It don't matter to me.
You've made.
Yes, and it doesn't matter to me.
Are you prepared to help us build the system you're asking for, or are you out of it?
I'm out of the system, but I will always be. You see my mouth? It won't be shut. And if something is not going on, they can be assured that the mouth will still continue to move.
Anne Shirley, thank you.
You're welcome.
Former Executive Director of JADCO. All the things you heard and some of what you did not hear. The bottom line, she says it's time to fix JADCO. We're up on a break on impact. When we come back, some increases have been granted to public passenger operators and taxes. We're going to hear a view from one concerned and interested party on impact.